Hi, welcome back to Therapy Designs. If you're new to this channel, my name is Kelly, and this channel is all about creating print-on-demand designs using Canva. So I just wanted to announce that I'm fast approaching the 1,000 subscriber milestone, and I'm hoping to hit this by next week. My birthday's next week, and that would make a great birthday present. So if you're watching this and you haven't subscribed yet, please hit like and subscribe and turn on your notifications so that you don't miss any of the weekly videos. And I hope to keep seeing you around. So in today's video, I'm actually going to be showing you how to create both of these designs here. The similarity between the two of them is actually the transparency aspect that I want to show you. So in the first shirt with the eagle, I went ahead and put an American flag over the top of it. So what I did was make the American flag transparent so you could see the eagle through the back. And in the second design with the lion's face, or the tiger's face, sorry, I went ahead and made the tiger black and white, but then I went ahead and make his eyes blue. And so I will show you how to do both of these techniques in this video using transparency. So if this is something that you would like to learn how to do, please stick around. So as always, we're starting with our blank background. It is 4,500 by 5,400 pixels, and I've already gone ahead and made it black. So we will be starting with this black background. Now, the technique I want to show you today has to do with using transparency to put one image over the top of another. Now, the design that I'm going to do is going to incorporate things that we've gone over before, which includes putting an image inside of a blur using Photopea. So I'm just going to go ahead and go through that pretty quick since I've done it several times before on other videos. But we're going to go ahead and just start by looking for a blur for our frame. So I'm going to come over to the left and I'm going to go up my tabs until I hit Elements. And here's where I would go ahead if I was searching for, and I could search for blur. And here, if you're searching for a blur, you're going to want to go ahead and sort by graphics, and then you can kind of scroll down and there's different shapes that you could use. I've already picked the one that I want, so I'm just going to go ahead and go to my recently used and select the blur that I want. And so that is it right here. I'm going to go ahead and bring it up to the top of the page, and I'm going to make it fill the entire page here. If you remember from other videos, I do not want the blurred part to go off the edge because I do not want to create any kind of a solid line in my design. So now that I have my blur, I'm just going to go ahead, title up here blur, and I'm going to go ahead and download that so I can use it in Photopea as my template. So I'm going to download. This is going to be a PNG. It is going to be a transparent background, and I'm just going to go ahead and download that right now. Perfect. And so now what I'm going to do for this design here, and I'm going to show you two different designs on this video, so it's kind of a 2-for-1. I'm going to go ahead and put an American flag over an eagle, so very traditional style design I'm sure you've seen. So we're going to go ahead and start with the eagle that we want. So again, I'm going to go up to Elements. Here you could go ahead and search for anything that you want. I'm going to go ahead and pick this eagle head that I've already found that I like. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it fill this whole circle. Now to see what I'm doing, I am going to want to use the transparency here, but that's just so I can see where I want to place this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the image. I'm going to come to the right-hand corner. There's a little checkered box, and it says transparency. If you click on that, now I can bring the transparency of my image down. And as I do that, I should be able to see my circle. There you go, right underneath. Now I want my bird to fill up most of the circle, and I definitely don't want any of the black background on the bird. So I'm gonna go ahead and stretch him out, make him nice and big so that the main part is right in the center of the circle, so I can see his eyes are right at the edges of the circle, his beak, and it comes all the way down. So everything important is now inside my circle, and I can go ahead and lose the transparency now. So I'll go back up to the right-hand corner where it says transparency. I'll click that, and I'll get rid of the transparency. All right, so now I have my bird how I want it. Now to create the kind of overlay effect, it's real easy. We just kind of do what we just did. So I'm going to go ahead and just go with an American flag. For this, it's easier to just do a really simple American flag. So this is a graphic that I pulled up. And I'm going to go ahead, again, I have to stretch out this flag so that it covers the entire face. Okay. And then for this, I'm gonna go ahead and go to the corner where it says transparency. We'll bring the transparency way down again, only this time we're gonna leave it down. So you're gonna pick a transparency that you like, where you can see the flag overlay over the eagle. That's what you want, but you don't want it to be kind of like too thick or too light. So you're gonna have to kind of play with what you like, and you can play with the placement of the flag over the eagle too. I kind of like where it is now, where the blue part of the flag is kind of splitting the eagle's face right in half and in half this way, so it kind of centers real nice. I actually really like probably the transparency I've got on here right now, but again, we can play with it. So I could make the flag look really light so you can barely see it over the eagle. I could make it pretty heavy so you barely see the eagle in the flag. And so depending on what look you're going for, once you kind of have it where you want it, and I kind of want maybe something there. I do want to be able to see both pretty well. So right now I've got it set at a 22. But now this is my image. So I've got my eagle with the American flag over it. And now I can just go ahead and download this too. And I can title it Eagle with Flag or whatever I want to title it. And then I can go ahead and download this. Now this doesn't have to be a transparent background. It can if you want, but it's really taking up most of the page and it's going to go inside of our blur. So that's up to you, transparent or not. I'm just going to hit download. And once this downloads, we're just going to go ahead and hop over to Photopea. Now, I've been doing a lot of videos using Photopea recently, but if you have not seen them, Photopea is a really cool website, and you can go ahead and just type in your browser, photopea.com, and it will take you to this page. You don't have to create an account. It doesn't cost any money. You don't have to put in any credit card information. You literally just type it in. It pulls up this page. And from here, we can go ahead and hit this middle button where it says open from computer. I'm going to go ahead and open that. And I'm going to pull up my blur that I just downloaded. And it'll pull up the blur. So it's a little hard to see with the checkered background, but the blur is right here in the center. And now all I want to do is take my eagle and put it right on top. So I'm going to come up to the left-hand corner where it says File. I'll click that, and I only have to go down about 3 spots where it says Open in Place. If I click that, it's going to pull up my downloads again. Now I'm going to select my eagle with flag and hit Open, and it's going to pull up my eagle right on top. Now you can see on the right there are 2 layers to this design. There's the background layer, that's my blur, and right above that is my eagle with the flag. And now all I'm going to do is use a clipping mask to put the eagle inside the blur. So to do that, I'm going to go up to the top where it says Layer. I'll click that, and about halfway down it says Clipping Mask. If you click on Clipping Mask, magically the eagle ends up inside the blur, and so that is exactly what I want. From here we just download it, and then we can reopen it in Canva. So I'm going to go up to File in the left-hand corner. I'll click that again. And then I'm going to go down to where it says Export As. It's about halfway down. And I'm just going to export this image as a PNG, so I can click that. And then it's going to open up this box for me. Now it's going to be titled with whatever design I had opened first. So I put blur right here. I could put blur eagle if I wanted to change the title. It's already set for the dimensions that I had, which was 4500 by 5400 pixels. And right now the quality is set at 100. I usually don't change any of that, but if you find that the image is too large to open in Canva, you can go ahead and bring that quality down a little bit, maybe 95 or 90, and then you should be able to open it no problem. But I'm going to leave it where it's at right now, and I'm just going to hit save. And all it's going to do is download that image for me. And now I can just hop right back over to my Canva page. And so I'm right back on my Canva, and now all I have to do, I can add a new page to show you here. And so here's my new page, and all I'm going to do is drag and drop the download that I just created. Drag and drop. And it'll upload it right here. And you can see over in the left-hand corner, this circle where it's got the little blue waves. That means that it is uploading, and it will be completely uploaded once this is full. Once it's completely uploaded, if you'd like, you can use any kind of photo effects on it. So if you'd like to use any filters at that point, you can. You can also at this point add any text that you might want to add or anything else, or you can just keep the image as it is. But now you can see how you've got your eagle face with the flag overlay, and so that's a really easy way to get an overlay, and you can do this with any combination of photos or graphics that you like. You also don't have to use the blur. You could put it inside of a frame if you wanted to, or you could just do a background removal. It depends how you want to go about it. But that was the technique that I wanted to show you. Now I told you I am going to show you one more, and so while this is uploading, I'm just going to come back up to the top. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get rid of this, and I'm going to get rid of my eagle. I'm going to do one more example for you. This time the overlay isn't going to be over the entire picture, but only part of the picture. And so what we're going to do is I'm going to create a tiger face. I'm going to make the tiger black and white, but I'm going to give him blue eyes. And so you'll see how this is going to look. I've already done a search for tiger, but again, you can search tiger up in your elements tab, and you can pick any tiger that you want. You can use a graphic or you can use a photo. I'm going to go ahead and use this photo here. I really like this one. I'm going to crop it kind of close because I'm going to be blowing this up, and we're just going to repeat the process that we just did because I do want to put him inside the little blur frame too. So once I've got him positioned where I like, I'm going to come up to the right hand corner where it says transparency. Again, I'm going to bring that transparency down. This is just so that I can see that I have him placed where I want him. So it's an easy way to make sure if you're doing layers that you have the layer placed where you want it by literally looking through the top layer at the bottom layer, and then you can line things up perfectly. So right here, I've got my cat lined up pretty good. I want to make sure both of his eyes are showing really well. Nose, mouth, I like that. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead, get rid of the transparency. And from here, I just want to download the cat face by itself. So to do that, I'm just going to retitle this. And this time I'm just going to put tiger face. Perfect. And I'm just going to download this first page. So I'm going to hit download. And if you've got more than one pages, you'll see that it'll say select page. You can do both pages, or in this case, I only want page one. So I'm just going to select the first page. Again, it doesn't need to be transparent, so I'll just go ahead and leave it as it is, and I'll hit download. And then I can go right back over to Photopea and just repeat the process that I just did. So as I jump back over to Photopea right now, you can see I still have my eagle here. Now, no problem, I've got my layers over here on the right-hand side. If I want to get rid of the eagle layer, all I have to do is go ahead, right-click, and then I can just delete that layer, and now I'm back to just my blur. And so this is a quick way. If you're doing a lot of these, you can just keep deleting the image you put in the blur and just leave the blur there. So that's really fast and easy. I'm going to come up to my left-hand corner where it says File, and then Open and Place, and I'm going to go ahead and open and place my tiger face that I just made, and it'll bring the tiger right on top there. And so again, I can create a clipping mask by going to Layer, coming about halfway down where it says Clipping Mask. I can click that. Now I've got my tiger face inside the blur, and then I can just export this too. So I'll go to File, top left-hand corner. I'm going to come down to where it says Export As. I'm going to export it as a PNG. If I click that, the box will come up in just a second. I can retitle it if I want, so I'm just going to go ahead and put Tiger Blur, just so I know. And then I'm going to, again, leave everything how it is, and I'm just going to hit Save. And then I'm going to jump right back over to Canva. So from here, I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of everything on the first page, and I'm just going to go ahead and use this first page to download my tiger. I'm just going to, oops, here's a good example. Each image must be less than 25 MBs in size, so the tiger was a little too big. So that's not a problem. We'll just go ahead, jump back over to Photopea. I'm going to export it again, but this time I'm going to export it a little bit smaller. So you'll see real quick, the box will come up. I'm still going to title it again. I'll put Tiger Blur 2. And then all I'm going to do is take where it says quality, and I'm going to bring that down. And I'll probably bring it down because I want to be sure that this is going to work. I got it at 92. So let's go ahead, save, and we'll see if this one works. Oops. And so we'll try again and see if this one fits. So all I have to do is try one more time. drag and drop, and there it is. So now this one is good. And so you'll find that if anything is just too big in size, no problem. We can just make it a little bit smaller. So now here's my tiger. I'm going to make him fill the whole page. Right below that, I do still have my eagle, and he's all downloaded too. So this is ready to go. If I wanted to, I could make this now fill the whole page. And perfect. So there's my eagle design, and right now this is good to go. It's exactly how I want it, so I probably wouldn't add anything. Up here I've got my tiger, and now here's where I want to start using some of the photo effects and doing a little bit of a transparency cover on it. So I'm going to click my tiger. I actually want him to be black and white, so I'm going to go to Edit Image. And down here where it says adjust, there's brightness, contrast, saturation. If I get rid of the saturation, I can just make it a totally black and white image. And so that's what I'm going to do right there. And I can play with the brightness and lightness. If I want it to be a little bit brighter, I can do that. If I wanted it to be darker, I could go the other way. I do want this to be a little bit lighter than darker. So I don't want to lose my detail. Maybe I'll do something like that. And so here I've got my cool tiger face. Now what I want to do is create blue eyes. So to do this is so easy. We're literally just going to put circles over his eyes. We're going to put blue circles and then put a little transparency on them so that you can see the eyes through the blue circles. So it's a really cool effect that you can use on, you know, anything that you like. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in nice and tight so that you can see it. And now if I want to pull up a circle, all I have to do is hit C on the keyboard and a circle will pop up. Now sometimes eyes aren't perfect circles. A lot of times you can get close enough, but if you can't, you can always go to your Elements tab and search for ovals, and then you can get different shaped ovals and try to get it as close to matching the eye as possible. So now here what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the color of my circle. So I'm going to go ahead and pick a blue. And I can play with the shade of blue and everything in a little bit, but I'm just going to go ahead and go with blue. I'm going to shrink it way down. And now I'm going to go ahead and put a transparency on it. So again, I'll click the right-hand corner where it says transparency. I'm going to bring that transparency way down so I can see through it. So it's almost like just putting a little blue tint or a little blue film. It's like I'm giving the lion some contacts. So something like that actually looks pretty good, and I can size it and try to get it as close as I want to the actual eye. Again, the eye isn't perfectly centered. With this, it's probably better to go a little bit bigger than smaller because around the outside of the eye is pretty dark. You probably won't see the blue, but the light part of the eye you would. So I'd rather it go a little bit over and be on the black than not enough and leave some of the actual eye out. And I can use arrows on my keyboard if I want to adjust it, you know, right, left, up, down, just 1 pixel at a time. You can always use the arrows on the keyboard instead of your mouse, and that way you can make little fine micro adjustments. So I like that. From here, I can play with the transparency some more. I can play with the color. So if I want it to be a little bit more transparent or a little bit less transparent, I do want it to be pretty transparent because I want to be able to see the pupil through it. But I also want to get that nice blue color. Now here I can also play with the blue. So if I wanted to come up and make it a brighter blue, I could do something like that, and it'll just kind of lightly change that. I do want to keep it pretty light. And then I can play with whether or not I want it to be more of a teal blue, and that looks pretty cool, or whether I want it to be more of a purpley blue. I think the teal blue actually looks a little bit better than the purpley blue. So something like that I think looks pretty good. Once I've got the color and the transparency and everything the way I want it, the easiest thing to do would be to duplicate this circle. That way when I do the other eye, I'm matching in terms of color and transparency. So I can just click this circle, and if I hit Control D on the keyboard, it just duplicates the circle. And then I can take the other one and bring it right over to the other eye. And then again, at this point, I can resize it if I need to. So if this eye maybe is a little bit smaller or a little bit bigger, there I can play with resizing it and making it the right size. And now when I go ahead and zoom out, now you can see pretty easily that I've got this cool black and white tiger face but he's got some blue eyes. And so you can use that kind of technique too to create different colors on black and white images. So that's what I wanted to show you today, just a few different techniques that you could do using transparency. And so again, you could use this as it is, you could put text on it, you could use it as part of a bigger design, so you can do it however you want, but those are just some easy things that I wanted to show you. If you have any questions about this, go ahead and drop them in the comments section below. I'll try to get back to them as quickly as I can. If you have any ideas for other videos you'd like to see, you can put those in the comments section below as well, and I'll try to get to them as quickly as I'm able to. Like I said, my birthday is next week, and I am trying to hit that 1,000 subscriber milestone. So if you have not hit like and subscribe, please do so, and I hope to see you again in future videos. That's it for today's video. If you found this useful and you would like to see more videos with helpful tips and tricks, be sure to hit like and subscribe and turn on your notifications so you don't miss any of the weekly videos. As always, keep growing and stay creative, and we'll see you next time.